this the compromise? I think this is the compromise. Look at him. This is how I'm going to hold the NATO faces. I'm going to hold them just like this and be like, I got the NATO kills, boo, boo, boo. Greetings, fellow airsoft nerds. I am James. This is Bo, and I'm going to be going over what I'm taking to Victorville to the Milsim West this weekend. We're going to start with what I'm wearing from head to toe. I tried to do like a cool little, like, I don't know, like a head wrap thing. Also, I have to wear hats because I'm bald and my head will burn. And that's not cool. And I thought this would be a little bit more like on brand than the normal ball caps that I wear. I thought this would be a little more like LARPy. This will also be kind of nice for when I'm wearing my helmet setup at night because I sweat a lot and that's really annoying. For the most part, these are going to be my iPro. I just got these off Amazon. They are rated. They are full sealed. They do meet spec. And they're a little bit like cooler. Like this is kind of like the Meta iPro to wear. I don't want to jam myself in the eye. They were like, oh, but you should get something that's like, you know, more safer or this, that, or the other. I have my Valken full seals also. I've got my tinids and I've got my yellows. I usually take about 3 different pairs of iPro, just as contingencies and kind of as things sort of change. So like if we're sort of, I don't know, in a patrol base or we're in like priorities work, I'll just pop these guys on just to look cool during the day or during the night because they're clear. If it starts to get a little bit hairier than I'm used to or that I'm comfortable with, I will quickly swap out like actual Valken iPro just for enhanced safety. I got my tank top on, which is pretty cool. This is a newer one that I got because I'm kind of fat and I'm not losing that much weight because food is good. So that's kind of a struggle. I have the same, I think this is a Mordor top that I've had for years. This is just like this super thin recon top, which for Northern California Milsim West events is totally fine. This is the same top that I've been rocking for a couple years. Huh, buddy? The pants that I'm wearing are just Ido Gears, IDO. You can get them on Amazon. They're supposed to be like Asian knockoff Cries. They're just fine. Again, I've had these pants for years. I think they're like 60 to 80 bucks. The fit is fine. I don't have any problems with like, if they say this, you really want to go up a size. I'm fat, so it's a struggle for me anyway. For my rucksack, I still got my large Alice pack. I mean, these are about as good as they get. I've done, you know, videos on this before. I like the military style more than the civilian style because this has a lot more pockets and pouches to organize things, where the civilian ruck is just like one big, like a duffel bag. So I can organize, you know, different geared based on what priority I believe it is. And one of the higher priorities in one of these smaller pouches is deodorant, because most of you dorks smell like ass before you even get to the AO. So, deodorant. Also, as you look into the main compartment, it has this little upper pouch for all kinds of odds and ends. You could store stuff in there. I usually put my meals in here. I've got my pork jambalaya that I didn't eat from Colorado. And I've got another chili mac with beef. I'm going to do another quick REI run probably sometime today or this evening. And once I get to Victorville, before I get to the AO, everyone always does a Walmart run for like last minute snacks and stuff like that. If you haven't seen this pack before, you'll notice that it is modded. I got the OC Innovations clip mods for this. So back in the day, it used to just be your main straps were just like one continuous loop that you would tighten and loosen. That's kind of a real pain in the butt. So I got rid of that, put these buckles in so I could just clip and unclip it, which is pretty neat. Same thing with the pockets on the front. Instead of the old school like trouser buttons, basically, it's got the clip system. I installed it myself. It's super easy. I'm dumb as shit. If I can figure it out, you can figure it out too. Food and kitchen stuff. Obviously, you know, you're gonna have your camping meals. I'll probably get maybe 1 or 2 more of these. Plus then I'll get a bunch of snacks at Walmart. So I'll be fine. Again, I'm fat. I like to eat. Definitely bring a lot of snacks. So like my favorite is those the lemon, not the Cliff bars, the Lara bars. Those like lemon whatever Lara bars. Those things are super clutch. You can do jerky. Sometimes jerky's a little more than I want to pay for it, and it's not that great all the time. But any kind of camping snacks. I got my Jet Boil. Again, this is the Jet Boil Zip Cup, but I have the Minimo ignition system because if you watch the last video, if you buy a Jetboil Zip, which is the thinnest, smallest cup they make, to my knowledge, it doesn't come with a push button ignition system. It just has the little turn system, and then you need an external fire source like a match or lighter, which kind of defeats the purpose of it in my opinion. But this is my old ignition system from my Minimo, which just has the little push button in here for a fire starter. I still have this long camping spoon. I don't know how I haven't lost this yet. I've had this for several years. I like the longer ones because if you're eating straight out of the bag, you've got some space to dig in there, get the bits at the bottom, and you're good to go. Whereas if you just bring like a normal spoon from home, you're jamming your hand in the bag and then your hand's getting all yucky, and that's not conducive to being a tactical house cat. For the patrol base and for doing like supervising and priority work checks and stuff like that, I still have my big EMR Gorka jacket. This isn't lined, obviously, but this is still the Mordor tack jacket. That's the big old sizing and whatever information. I got the EMR one long ago because it was the only one they had that wasn't like a multicam pattern or, something like that. So at the time I was buying something in my size, this was the only pattern they had that I liked. I wanted to stick with all partisan stuff, but I mean, if you've been in the struggle for more than a minute, partisan's not really easy to get a hold of in my big size. I'm about 6 foot 215. Actually, last night I weighed in at 214, so something's working. This jacket is a 52 by 54 in a 3-4 size. I don't know what that means, but that's what it is. So if you're looking for size reference, I'm about 6 foot 214. That's the size of the jacket that I have. It's just fine. Making its debut in Victorville is a surplus marine bivy bag. It's an improvement over the previous one I have, which was an Army repro, a clone, a U.S. Army clone of what they were giving out in the Army. It's an Amazon version. It kind of failed me in Colorado, not drastically, but it's not something that I wanted going forward as I try to go to these AOs with harsher weather. When you're sleeping and it's raining or it's cold out, you want peace of mind to know that you're going to be completely sheltered from the elements to help you actually sleep. If you're worried about getting wet or you're worried about your feet being warm or this, that, and the other, that's going to stay on your mind and you're not going to be able to get good sleep. And in a field environment, that's kind of a big deal. The main difference and the real reason why I went Marine over Army is it has this face mesh. So you can pull this over your face and completely encapsulate yourself in your bivy bag without worrying about your hot breath coming back down and raining on your face. Let's say you're to take like a plastic bag and just drape it over your face. That air as you're breathing is gonna stay on that waterproof surface, and if your face is on the bottom and your air is on top, and it's going to basically create your own little rain system in your face, and it's freaking annoying. Then you wake up like your whole upper body from like your shoulder up is drenched in what you think is rainwater or your own sweat. It's not, it's just your own breath. The zipper system on this is a lot nicer also. You could tell it's a lot more secure, it's a lot tighter, and it's a little bit deeper into the bag, whereas my old Amazon bivy bag wasn't bad. Now, the Amazon bivy, for the price, I think I paid like $60 for it. Pretty good deal. I'm gonna be pretty honest. That's a pretty great deal. With shipping on eBay, I paid about $100. I think I paid like 80 something for this with like 15 or 20 bucks for shipping. And this is in really good condition. The netting isn't torn. I went through the bag. There's no rips, frays. This looks like new, but it wasn't. It was used. So here we go. I'm taking my summer bag. This is my Kelty Galactic. I don't know if they still make these. I think this has been discontinued. I think there's newer models of Kelties. I can't remember. This is just a smaller summer bag that hunkered. It's rated for the same temperature, I believe. Or maybe my hunker down might be 20 degrees or something like that. Either way, this is more of a summer bag. It's smaller. It's thinner. So it's not going to take up as much space. And for Victorville, you don't really need anything more than a summer bag. In my opinion, a foam sleep pad should be mandatory tax up item. That's a personal opinion. I have been discouraging Victorville players for years from taking inflatable sleep pads because it'll probably get shot and punctured. If you've got an inflatable and you're like, oh no, I didn't think of that, try putting it in your bivy bag to give it an extra layer of protection, or put like a poncho over it, or try and layer stuff on that sleep pad as much as possible. That way it basically absorbs the shock of BBs and it doesn't get penetrated. Giggity. This is my Nemo Switchback. I've had it for quite a long time. I don't know how many years. Super Cubs in clutch. This is pretty this is the one that almost everyone has. Most Milsim West dudes, you'd always tell them because it's orange and silver or gray or whatever. You can almost always tell a Switchback guy from a mile away because of the orange. Oh, but you'll be able to see it in the night, blah, 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 blah. No more or less than some dork in your platoon or in your squad that's on his phone with his white light on, or that's talking, or that's doing. So I would say in the grand scheme of things, this is way less intrusive than that dumbass that's in your squad. This is my whoopee. It's that Kiforu or whatever the fancy whoopee that I have. It's double lined. Realistically, you could just get away with a bivy bag and a whoopee and you'd be fine. Or realistically, you could probably just get away with a whoopee and be fine, as long as you had like a sleeping pad or something like that, just so it's a little extra comfortable. You don't really need a full-on sleep set. Guys, it's going to be like a high of 80 and a low of 50 with wind. I always go sleeping bag, bivy, whoopee, because I always assume someone is going to fuck something up, leave something in their car, and then they're without some piece of sleep gear or something to keep them warm at night. So I always take some extra. Someone's going to be retarded. My helmet is still at the arms room. I leave it at my store as like a demo for helmets and stuff. I'm taking the same night vision setup. This is my US night vision. This is my US night vision PVS 14 Gen 3 white phos with Elbit tubes. Inside of it is the Cold Harbor lens. They have SAC lenses also. I've got a couple of those. This is a little bit more sturdier than a SAC lens. This is like my primary. So my SAC lenses, because they're a little bit softer and they don't really screw in, this is my primary. My SAC lenses are like my backups, basically. If it gets really, suspect or whatever, I can always put my pee-hole cap back on and it'll be a little bit safer from there. Just kind of depends. Always have backups, especially with night vision. If you want more of my night vision setup, you could check out the Colorado video that I did maybe a month or so ago, or you could check out the actual video that I have dedicated to my night vision setup. I haven't changed. Still running the same AK. I'm not going to blank fire at this event. I will probably try and save up money, get an AK for blank fire for Kharkiv. But for Victorville, this is my ENL AKM with a Gate Titan installed and my wood dong, so that since this is permanently affixed to the rifle, this does not count as an attachment per rule, which allows me to run my IR laser and I don't have to take it off during the day. So let's say this was like a Picatinny setup and this was like your standard Magpul grip, I would basically have to choose between one or the other. So at night, I would have to run this, and then once the sun came out, I can take this off, put the grip on. Ta-da! Chest rig is still going to be the Smersh. I thought about doing like a plate carrier, that crappy Matrix plate carrier I have, so I can keep my phone on my chest for ATACs. I don't think I'm really going to need it. And given kind of like the poor ensemble I'm going with, Smersh comes in clutch. This is my little laundry bag full of clean clothes. So I've got extra shirts. This is the moisture wicking shirt that I always like to wear during the daytime. It's my Notre Dame moisture wicking muscle shirt. I've got a long sleeve shirt also. The blue, this one I just kind of have for like cosplaying for check-in. And then depending on how the weather goes, I'll either leave this on, or if this gets a little too sweaty for my comfort, I'll swap this bad boy out. For the nighttime, I'll probably put this on if it gets extra windy. I keep all my clean clothes together in their own bag. I do not put my dirty clothes back into my clean clothes because I feel like an idiot if I put a dirty pair of socks on. Here we come with the pro tips. This is my after action bag. So as soon as we clear the AAR and all that and everyone goes to their car and starts packing and blah, 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 I will immediately go down to a pair of shorts. So these are just my grappling shorts, and I literally got them out of the wash last night, and I let them hang dry so that they smell like clean laundry. But I'll pop these bad boys on. I'll leave my dirty underoos on, strip everything down, put on a pair of shorts, my Crocs, which are back there, and then another clean shirt. I will wear that to the first shower point, and then I'll throw everything in the back of the car or wherever. So to reduce dick funk, if you are carpooling with a bunch of dudes, it's going to smell like a cock meat sandwich deli if you don't do this. So I'll swap out everything I'm wearing, and this is basically to get me to the first shower point. We go to the shower in, I think Batten, something like that. We go to the Love's travel shower places. It's like $15-20 for a shower. It's super worth it. After the shower, I will then change my underwear and everything into another pair of clothes. Clean shirt, got a pair of clean cargo shorts right in here. Same cargo shorts I wear just about every day. And then probably keep rocking my Crocs. And then that's like the car ride. That's the carpool home attire. That way we have reduced the collective funk in the car, and it smells much less like dick meat. And that's kind of the key. So what I just showed you as far as the ruck goes, excluding the after action bag, just the ruck itself, I weighed it last night. It was like, I think like 15, 16 pounds, something. That is under 20 pounds because it's mostly fabric, basically. Just clothes and bags and blah, blah, blah. I will most likely bring one of my camping chairs. That weighs about 8 pounds, I think, somewhere in there. So when we step off for infill, my ruck with chair will probably weigh 20, 25 pounds, somewhere in there. But I'm definitely under 30 pounds. If you are taking 35 or more pounds to a Victorville Milsim West, what the fuck are you doing? You got to scale that shit down. You're taking way too much stuff. You're going glamping at that point instead of backpacking. I'd say keep it between as little as you want, but no more than about 30-ish pounds. And again, if you're hitting that 30-pound mark, it's probably because you're taking a chair. Even I'm being a kind of a bitch for taking a camping chair, but Papa got to be comfy. That's it. I mean, it doesn't get more complex than that. Victorville is the easiest Milsim West AO that they have. It is the easiest one. I would argue it's easier than Shawley and all those places because if I understand correctly, Shawley has like weather sometimes. Victorville doesn't. The sun is always up. It does not rain for the Milsim West events, and it's nice. And there's cell signal, and that's kind of it. It's like a nice warm spring day. That's it. I will see you guys at the event. Come give me a hug at check-in if I'm not working, and go fuck yourself.